Hello, everyone. Hi, we're live. I don't know if it's showing up yet.
You're live for me.
You're live? I'm live
I
for
see
you?
you.
Perfect. It's not showing up on mine, but I'm sure it's slowly getting to everybody. Turning on. Great. So, welcome to Slimy Sundays with me. I'm Crafty Slime Creator, and I'm also here with Erin, the Slimonade stand from Instagram that most of you probably already know with all of her super creative slimes and her awesome slime shop. I'll have it all linked down below if you want to check out her YouTube or her Instagram or her slime shop. And also, I'm just getting over a little bit of a cold, so if you ever see me popping in my cough drops, that's what I'm doing. And so we are just going to get started with questions soon. This is Slimy Sundays. It's a bi-weekly live stream that we're going to be doing. And yeah, so Erin, do you want to just introduce yourself and talk a little bit about you?
Yeah, I'd love to. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to our first ever live stream here on Slimy Sundays. I could not be more excited to join my friend Allie J. We're so stoked to have you guys all here. Make sure you tell all of your friends to pop on too, because we'd love to chat with all of you. But I'm Erin. In case you don't know me, I am the Slimonade stand on Instagram. This is kind of, you're witnessing my first few months here on YouTube. And so I'm definitely getting baptized by fire here going live stream with Alyssa, and I'm really excited. In case you don't know me, I am a mom. I am an adult slimer. I have 2 little girls, and I've been sliming on Instagram for about 1.5 years now, and it is one of the best things I have ever done. I just love my life as a slimer.
Yes, so much fun. I've been on Instagram for about 2 years now, and I've been posting on there. I joined YouTube, I think, about 1 year ago, and I've been sporadically posting, trying my best, but I still consider myself a YouTube newbie as well. So we are just going to get started with the frequently asked questions we get, because we're doing like Slime 101, that type of thing. So make sure you leave all of your questions in the chat as well, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. But first off, we are going to start with a question that we got on Instagram, and it's from Po22 Slimes. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And the question is, do you tell people that you have a slime account? So Erin, do you want to start off with that?
Sure, I would love to. I mean, if any of y'all know me, I tell everyone that I'm a slimer. I mean, it's basically what I lead with in conversation, and most people in my adult life are kind of like, isn't that sticky stuff that gets all over my kitchen? Ew. But in the beginning, my Instagram account was mainly something I did with my kids, and then my kids kind of lost interest and I got more interested, but it was really very separate from my personal life. And I'll never forget, I was at my own birthday party and my best friend said, "Girl, I know you have some slimes in your purse. You should take them out." And I was like, "No, this is not really the time to talk about slime with a bunch of grown-ups, And surprisingly, they were all like really interested, and she made them all look at my Instagram feed, and some people were like, "This is really weird," and some people thought it was really cool. So that was kind of towards the beginning of my Instagram account, and since then I've honestly just grown to embrace it as a part of me and my personality and what makes me me. So yeah, I tell everybody, and I love talking about slime, which is perfect for this show, so I could talk about it forever.
Definitely. Yeah, you should totally be proud of your slime account. You put a lot of effort into it. All of you should, really. It's like something that's so great and so creative. And so many people know about slime now. Like when I first started, I thought it was weird and I didn't know if anybody would be interested in it. But all my friends were super nice about it, and they really thought it was really cool that I was trying out this something new. They were like, "That's totally something Allie would do. Like totally my type of thing." I'm super creative, as I'm sure all of you are. And so I was honestly a little shy as well to start sharing my slime. And oh my gosh, hey Sasha, Broadway Crafts, I see you. But yes, I totally just got distracted there. But slime, you should be proud of it. Don't be afraid to share it. And if people don't like that you're doing slime, then don't hang out with them. They're not cool. Just stick with slime because it is awesome.
Yes, and anyone that doesn't appreciate something you do to make yourself happy and to express your creativity probably shouldn't be a major part of your life. So surround yourself with people that support your slime account, and definitely share it, and don't be ashamed to share your creativity. It's a big part of who you are.
Exactly. I totally agree. Yeah.
So should we move on to our next question, or should we take a look at the chat? Let's see what's happening in the chat.
Oh, yes. I saw someone asked, what's your favorite scent for slime? Oh, we should probably answer that one. Oh,
Let's do it.
there's so many good scents. Oh my goodness. Hmm. I would probably say I love a good cereal milk, like frosting sweet scent. Like I have such a sweet tooth, so any realistic scent. Like sometimes I really don't like scents that are they smell fake, like that fake strawberry scent or like really florally scents are not my thing. I like realistic scents, and like that cereal milk, like Fruit Loops, Captain Crunch type scents. Those are all my favorite.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Even in my slime shop too, I tend to lean towards more like food focused scents, especially if they smell like the real thing. I really love green apple, and most of the green apple scents out there don't smell like real apples, but that's okay with me because I really love green apple Jolly Ranchers, and I think they smell amazing. Green apple blow pops, that kind of stuff. So I really like green apple. I also love a good dessert scent. I'm a big fan of like the buttercream frosting kind of scents because I think they smell really, really real. And then if you kind of add on top of that a texture that kind of mimics it too, and it looks like frosting and it smells like frosting, I mean, like I'm in. So,
Yeah.
should we talk about our least favorite scents?
Oh yeah, for sure. So my least favorite scents are definitely floral scents. I don't really tend to like those perfumey like I don't like them. They're kind of musty and they're not my favorite. That's just probably my main one I don't like. I also find it really hard to get a good chocolate scent. Like I ordered a bunch of chocolate scents to try to find one because I was just really wanted one because chocolate is amazing. But I just couldn't find one that smelled realistic and didn't like some were really bitter and some were just like they didn't smell like chocolate at all, and I was like, this is not a chocolate scent. Or some it was like a brownie scent, but it was just really sweet and it didn't really smell like brownie, it just smelled super sweet. So I like scents that are really realistic, and when it isn't, it just really is not my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I love coffee in real life. I drink it multiple times a day, but I am not a big fan of coffee scents for slimes. Also, for the same reason you don't like the chocolate, I don't think it really smells like coffee. I have yet to find one that smells like coffee. Chocolate, same thing. Like, there's just not a good chocolate scent out there. I really like the bread scents, but some of those are a little wacky too, in my opinion. So that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, some of the bread scents can like I like it, but some of them they don't really smell like bread. They smell like popcorn. Maybe that's just me, but I kind of find that they smell like popcorn a little bit. But if you like that, that's great. I like bread scents usually. They're pretty good.
I totally agree about the popcorn and bread scent. Totally agree.
Yeah. Great. So we can answer more questions from the chat or other ones we have. What do you want to do, Erin?
Well, I'm noticing that Broadway Crafts says, girl, hit me up. I can hook you up with a good coffee scent.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yes. I need to get me on that coffee scent too.
Let's see what else we have going on in the chat. Aniston Barnett says, hey, Erin. Hey, Aniston, longtime follower of mine. Should we jump into the how do you handle hate comment? That's
Definitely.
Also from Aniston.
For sure. That's a really tough one because it is really hard to handle hate, honestly. Like, I get hate all the time about things from my hands to, like, the way I look sometimes if I post a photo of myself, my nail polish, if my nails aren't painted, or if they are painted and you don't like the color, or there's so many different things that people can find to nitpick about. And it's just, I know that everybody says this, but you really have to ignore it. I know that's really hard to do, but you just have to think about why they're saying what they're saying and where that might be coming from and how they're feeling. They probably are in a tough situation and are taking it out on you online, and you don't know them. You just have to keep on doing what you're doing and be confident in yourself. And I know that's really hard for people to do, but I've just learned to, like, I like my hands. I like how they are. And, some people might dislike them and say, why doesn't she cut her nails shorter? Or why are her fingers so long and things like that. And I just, I like the way my hands look and I just got to own it,
Good job, girl. I love to hear that. That's like super inspirational. And I know a lot of the people that are watching and listening are probably feeling really good hearing you say that. I know as far as like cyberbullying or hate, I honestly had not really experienced any of that until I started a slime Instagram. And I remember the first few times it happened. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm an adult. I'm a mother. it really hurt my feelings. Like, it really gave me a confidence blow, because up until then, like I said earlier, this was my escape. This was my hobby. This is where I went to, like, just relax and have fun and make my slime and not worry about adults judging me for making slime. But then suddenly there were people judging me for things I didn't even think were, needed criticism. But yeah, I mean, hey, I'm an adult. These are what my hands look like. You guys have heard me talk about my hands a lot. And the reason I do that is because I want to destigmatize, like, people that want to throw hate out on your hands, because these hands are creating, like, amazing things. And I'm not going to let that affect me. But I will say, for you guys that are listening that want some advice on dealing with it, this is a really black and white thing that I was taught by a bunch of more veteran Slimers, so to speak. And that's the fact that Instagram actually has a setting that you can go in and block comments that you're sensitive to. You can block certain words that you don't want in your comments. And the person that's commenting that won't even know that they're blocked. They'll go ahead and comment their hateful thing, and it will never show up, and you'll never see it, and your fans will never see it. So that is one of the best tips I ever got, actually, from Amanda at the Slime Hive. And the second thing I just have to say is, sometimes I would get really mad and respond to the comments, and I'd be like, well, I'll show them. I'm an adult and I'm going to put them in their place. That doesn't do anyone any good. The best thing you can do, literally, is just delete the comment and move on, not engage, because it seems like a lot of people that throw out hate are just looking for attention, and you don't want to give them that. You want to throw the attention back on what you're creating. And that's probably my best advice to all of you guys.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you, Erin. That function to, like, block all the comments with words that you pick is really handy. I have that, especially too, that I want to keep, like, my page clean with no swear words or anything like that. I have those all in my block comments because, I want it to be a safe space for people to come on to and just have fun and be creative. And we're not here for spreading hate, and we're not here to put people down. We're just here to spread slime and love and happiness,
Amen. I agree. Amen to that.
Great. So we can maybe go to a question that we got from Instagram before. This one was a really interesting one that we saw. Is it worth it for small slime shops to attend events like Slime Bash, Slime in the City, etc.? And that was from Happy Slime Team on Instagram.
You want me to take this one?
Sure, you can start off with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point now I've attended 3 different slime events, and I found it a really wonderful place for all of us who know each other online to meet in person and, throw your arms around someone you've known on the internet for a long time and actually see them in person and gather around in person and support one another. As a small account, I think it's a good place to, again, meet other Slimers. If you're looking to grow your account, it's a great place to, talk to somebody like Audie Slimes or Slime OG and actually, talk to them in person and get some advice and network, so to speak. I think as long as you're not spending a ton of your money to go, if it's something that's easy for you to do, I definitely think it's worth it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm from Canada, and there's not many Canadian slime events, but if there are ones that are close, like in Buffalo or New York, or that's close for me to get to, and it isn't, like, crazy expensive to fly there or drive there or anything, I think it's totally worth it. But if you're a smaller creator, don't spend tons and tons of money, obviously, to fly across the country to go to events, because it can get really expensive. I think the Instagram slime community, it's like a slime convention every day on Instagram. But in person, it's really great to meet people. Like, I've only gone to one event, and it was Slime Bash, and it was so awesome to meet people in person, and that was so much fun. But if you can't make it, it's totally fine. Like, watch the vlogs of people doing it, watch people post on their stories and go live all the time. So either way, I think it's worth it to get the experience, but it's also not the end of the world if you can't make it. Either way is fine.
I totally agree. I mean, just in being on Instagram and watching everyone's experiences through their stories, I know some people may tend to feel a little left out, but for me, it's like, oh my gosh, I get to see this slime convention from so many different perspectives. It's like you're there. And these days, there's so many slime conventions happening. I feel like it's only a matter of time before there's going to be one near your house, and you'll get to go and you'll have that experience that you can share with everybody else.
Yes, exactly. I totally agree. And I just see a question on here on the chat from Emmy. Emmy, I met her at some of my book signings and slime conventions, and it's so much fun. Like, you meet so many cool people, just like Emmy. Hey. And she asked, what is your favorite thing about slime? And oh my gosh, I'm sure there are so many both of us have. Like, slime is so amazing. But my favorite part about slime is definitely the creativity. Like, you can do so much with slime, and I find that so awesome. Like, you can, like, I've done a bunch of series with rainbow slime and pulling them and dragging them, and it's all with the same type of slime, but I've made it so many different ways, and I find that so fun. And, like, there's so many different things you can do with slime. And with your slime shop, Erin, I'm sure you have tons of different creations you make. And there's so many different textures. Like, the possibilities with slime are endless. And that's just what I love about it.
I totally feel the same way. Like, it's such a this is like a literal and figurative thing, but it's such a moldable thing. Like, it's, you know, you can make it look like food. You can make it look like an animal. You can make it look like the thing you ate for lunch. Like, it's such a cool medium to create things. Like, it just, I don't know. I love coming up with my next idea for my next video. But then as far as like my shop goes, I definitely listen to what my customers and fans are asking for, especially like with the big bread slime trend, you know, and it was like, well, I want to do a bread slime, but I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. So let me try and think of something really different. And so I always love being able to challenge my creativity that way too. And so slime has really done that. It's really filled that bucket for me.
Exactly. There's so many different ways to do slime. Like, I know there's been drama in the slime community sometimes around people copying other people, and, you know, when do you say it's inspiration or versus other things, and I don't really want to get into that here, but there are so many possibilities. Like, be creative and do your thing, and if people are copying you and things like that, it really, really sucks, but you know, if you just stay being creative and staying true to yourself and making those unique slimes, like, that'll pay off.
Yeah. And again, you know, take it as a form of a compliment. If you can, be the bigger person. I see an interesting question coming from Taylor Catherine. Do you see that one? If you could invent any kind of slime, what would you invent? I mean, it's kind of a difficult question, but Allie,
that is a hard
one.
Ideas? I would invent a really good edible slime. Like, they're so hard. Like, it's really hard to make actual edible slime. Like, I have a recipe in my book about edible slime, but it's just not the same as real slime. Like, I think it would be so cool to make a slime that you could actually, like, that was not necessarily to eat because you wouldn't want to be playing with it and then eating it, but maybe for like younger kids who you don't want to be playing with slime because in case they ingest it or anything like that, like a type of slime for them that is like, it's really, really fun to play with, and you know, it's cool. It has a cool scent, and you know, if you actually wanted to eat it like with your spoon, and like, it would be so much fun.
Yeah. For me, I think just as someone who deals with the ever-changing weather, I would love to invent a slime that is not heat sensitive at all.
Oh yeah.
Because in the summer it's melting, and in the winter it's freezing or getting stiff. And so as a slime seller, I'm like constantly trying to like include whatever my customers need to like make their slime perfect. And if it's not perfect, then, you know, give them workarounds for like fixing it. So I would love a slime that just like, I don't know, has some sort of invisible force field around it to keep it from getting too stiff or too sticky. But that is the dream. That is the dream.
Oh yes. There's so many, like, it'd be so cool to make like a slime with the texture of ice cream. Like, maybe that's totally random, but I've always wanted that. That's so random, but somebody please invent it, figure out a way to mix the ingredients together to make a slime that feels like ice cream.
I would love to try that slime as well. That sounds awesome.
Great. So do we want to do another question from the chat, or?
Yes, let me scroll through here and see what else we've got here going on. I'm scrolling up. When making cloud slime, I noticed it never works with Tide. Does cloud slime only work with certain activators? You are kind of the DIY expert. I'm going to give that one to you.
Yeah, so I haven't experimented a ton with cloud slime. I'm not the expert on it, but from what I know, as long as you have a slime that's a bit tougher and then you add the fake snow to it, it works out. It could be not that you're using Tide, but it could be that you're using like a specific brand of fake snow that isn't working as well. Like I know that I have a brand of fake snow that doesn't work to make good cloud slime, but it'll make good icy slime. So a brand that really I find works well for cloud slime specifically is Snow Wonder. So maybe try using that brand of cloud slime with the Tide, because it could be the brand of snow that you're using that is the reason why it isn't working.
Yep. I would agree. I actually have that slime that you're talking, or that snow that you're talking about, and I've tried that only is good for icy slime. And I remember it was like I found it at the store nearby my house, and I was so excited. And it was just like I just kept adding more and more and more, and I had an amazing icy slime, but it was not working as a cloud slime. Exactly, that's a really good question. Cloud slime is like the ever mysterious slime of the community. It's really hard to make. I think. I mean, personally, it's hard to get it perfect.
I totally agree. It's the toughest slime, probably, I would say, to make. It's up there with like the perfectly perfect clear glue slime that doesn't melt.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, while we're on the topic, should we jump back to one of the questions we were going to talk about, like the basic slime components?
Oh, yes, definitely. So, slime, there's so many different things you can add into it, but if you want to make the most basic slime, there's really only two components you need. You need your activator, so your glue base, mix that up. You need your activator, and then you need your glue base. So two parts to it. So your glue base, as long as it's a PVA glue, you're good to go. So I personally tend to use Elmer's slime because that's what works best for me, but whatever you use, as long as it's PVA and it works, great. And then your activator, there's tons and tons and tons of different options. Like you could do your own personal research to see what you are okay with, but there is borax. You can make a borax and water solution. You can use contact lens solution and baking soda. You can use laundry detergent. You can use liquid starch, whatever you personally want to use. There you go.
Yep. And then there's always the like optional add-ins. Like my favorite part of making slime is adding the scent. So for me, like I love a scented slime. So I always add scent to mine most of the time. Colors are fun. Although sometimes you notice like you're limited with colors often. Like you don't see certain colors because those colors are really hard to create in slime. I mean, am I right? I don't see a lot of really true red slimes either. You know, like yeah. I was just talking about that the other day. So yeah, like I think that was one of the questions somebody asked us, what's our favorite color slime? I honestly like all neon slimes. Like if all my slimes could be neon pigmented, I would be a happy lady. I love me some bright slimes.
I'm like the opposite. I actually like pastel slimes or super dark slimes. So like that dark plum purple is my absolute favorite color slime. I don't know why, but it is. And I also really like cute pastel slimes because I just find them so adorable, but I totally agree with you. Neon is really nice as well.
Thanks. Let's see if we have some comments about what y'all's favorite slimes are. Let's see if anybody's commenting here. I'm
Comment
curious.
Away.
Oh, Bella Cutter says, Bella Couture, maybe? I'm the one who asked what your awesome Vans look like. Oh man, I wish I had them with me, but I don't. Should we take another question? A new question?
For sure, yes. I see Aniston asked, like, how to have a successful slime shop is what I'm getting from the question. Like, how do you have your account be seen and sell more slime?
I think there isn't one right answer to that question because at least in my experience, a lot of what happens on social media sometimes is purely chance and purely luck. You know, I don't think there's any one key ingredient, but one thing that I've found, and my husband, who I call Mr. Slimonade, brings this up all the time. And I personally think it's better to have a small amount of really engaged followers than a ton of followers that may not always see your page. So I wouldn't let follower count get you down too much when you're trying to open an account. I think what you need to do is engage with your followers and get to know them and let them get to know you. And I know a lot of people may not want or be allowed to show their faces on Instagram. I don't think that's a must. I think what is a must is to let your personality show through, so that if you are opening a shop and you plan to sell your slimes, I think a lot of customers want to know who they're buying from. And part of that experience of buying slime from someone is really liking and feeling like the person that made it and sold it to you is someone who cares about you and wants you to have a great experience with your slime. So that would be my biggest piece of advice to all of you guys with new slime accounts is stop looking at your follower count. Just get to know your followers really well, and get to know them as your Instagram family.
Definitely. I totally agree. I think I don't really sell my slime anymore, but I do have my Instagram account. And a big part of growing your Instagram is, and getting those followers that are really dedicated to you and your account, is to post consistently. Like, you don't want to be following someone who posts once a month and then you don't know what is happening and you don't know what's going on. You want to be following someone who is posting consistently, and like every day at this time I'm going to be getting a video from them and I can count on them, and they have a restock every so often, and I know that I can count on them to make slime for them, and I can count on them, so you want to be consistent. That's really important to growing on Instagram and eventually growing your slime shop as well.
Yep. And I would add that just as someone who gets a lot of DMs and comments like, can you follow me? Can you shout me out? That's not the best way to get a follow or a shout out. The best way to do that is to shine brightly on your own, but also to comment on other people's posts. If you're scrolling through your feed and you see a post you really like, comment on it. Say, hey, I think this is amazing. This is great. You don't need to say, mind checking me out. They'll check you out on their own if they want to. Just be an active, engaged follower yourself, and you in turn will get active, engaged followers as well. And, just stay active on Instagram. Be there every day for your followers.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Engaging in the slime community is so important. Like, I see a lot of people, like I did a series on my YouTube channel where I did a series of 4 videos talking about ways to grow on Instagram. And so many people, I got this comment, and they aren't engaging. So you're posting and you're putting out content consistently, but you're not consistently engaging with other people. Because how do you expect your videos to be seen when you are not watching other videos and commenting on other videos? Because that is how you grow and are part of the slime community. Like, you're not isolated by yourself. You're a part of the community, and you have to show that, right?
Exactly. I mean, some of my closest friends on Instagram are ones that I have met through the comments of other people's posts. And I'll be like, hey, that person said something hilarious. Sounds like they have the same sense of humor as me. I'm going to go follow them because I'll probably really like their posts because they just made me laugh. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just sometimes as simple as that. And sometimes it's a lot more complicated when you get into things like algorithms and what percentage is watching and all that. I mean, that's a whole other ball of wax that we could probably spend an entire hour talking about and deconstructing, but we won't do that today.
There are so many things that go into having a successful slime shop and a successful Instagram account, and some of those are different. Like, if you have a slime shop, there are some things different than if you are just focusing purely on Instagram. So there's a ton of different things that Erin and I will definitely be doing a Slimey Sunday about sometime in the future.
Yes, and speaking of that, we would love your suggestions too. Like, what are you looking for in terms of the show, and what would you like us to cover that we, could really dig deeper into with your participation too?
Exactly, yes. And there are a lot of good questions I see up in the chat. There's one from Brendan Murphy, and they said, do you have any recipes or lists for your slime, and where can I buy that stuff? Is it available online? So for me, I actually have a slime recipe book. It's called Ultimate Slime, if the lighting will let me show you. And it's a recipe book all about slime and how to make slime. And at the end of this, we are actually going to be giving away a copy of this and a $15 gift card to Erin's Slime Shop. So make sure you stick around till the very end if you want to be part of that giveaway. But in here, I have all my recipes and all my tips and tricks and ingredients that you can check out.
Yeah, and for me, I honestly I buy a lot of my stuff on Amazon. To be honest
Mhm.
with you, it's, you know, 9 times out of 10, if I'm looking for something for one of my slimes, I can find it on Amazon. And in fact, I recently opened a storefront on Amazon. I can leave the link up in the chat. But in that storefront, I have groups of products that I love to use in my slime. You can access it by going to amazon.com/shop/slimonade stand. And I've thrown up a bunch of my ingredients and the types of glues I like and some of the add-ins that I love. So yeah, Amazon is a big one for me. And, you know, the environment, there's all kinds of cool stuff you can put in your slime that's just laying around the house sometimes too, as long as your parents are okay with it.
Yes, for sure. You make sure your parents are okay with you buying from Amazon. And I know some people aren't. So some great stores that I buy from in person is actually if you want glue at a good price. I find Walmart really sells it at a good price. Michael's, you can go there to get specific ingredients. Make sure you take your 40% off coupon when you go. Places like that, craft stores, even the dollar store, actually, I do get a lot of my ingredients as well. Because for some things, I find that it's okay if they're not as high quality to put in your slime, and it turns out great. So, like, for example, if you want to put in some shaving cream for some great fluffy slime, I find that the dollar store has great shaving cream to use. Yeah.
I love the Dollar Tree's foaming hand soaps. I think they smell great. They work really well in slimes. And I also buy all my foam sheets for E's Movie Snack at Dollar Tree. So yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you don't have to spend a ton of money to make slime, and it still can turn out great. Yeah. So there's some other great questions from Jack Walker. What's your favorite slime texture?
Oh man.
That's a tough one because there's so many awesome slimes.
I know. Well, I guess I'll start. One of my favorite trends of this year has been thick and glossy slimes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love a slime I can hold in my hand and take with me places. And so I love like a good, holdable, thick, glossy slime that you can make lots of bubble pops with.
Definitely. I really like thick slimes, but I also like just plain glossy slimes. They don't necessarily have to be super thick, but I love just a good glossy basic slime because there's so much things you can do to it, first off, but second of all, it's just so nice to just play with a plain old slime sometimes because sometimes the slimes can get so intricate and that is awesome. But sometimes I just want to go back to the basics, you know?
I agree. Like I made a school glue base with literally just glue, a little bit of lotion, and some activator, and I couldn't stop touching it and playing with it. It was like, oh yeah, this is like just getting back to basics.
Exactly. I think sometimes we want to go so crazy with our videos and we want to be super creative. And sometimes it's just so great to bring it back to the basics, some good old bubble popping ASMR videos and just some throwback to the slime community in 2016, you know, just some plain videos I think are tons of fun as well. Yeah.
Yep. Bringing it back to 101.
Yes. There are so many good questions in the comment. Do you want to pick one, Erin?
Yes. Let's see. Oh, we have a lot of new people joining us. Okay, I like this question from Taylor Catherine. What are some popular clay brands that are commonly used in slime? There is this type of clay that I can never find the name of. Okay, well, we all talk about Daiso clay. I think Daiso clay is like the clay of choice in the slime community because, you know, it's the clay that popularized the butter slime trend. And it's a great clay and you can order it again online, but happen to be fortunate enough to actually live near a real Daiso store. And Daiso is actually a Japanese dollar store. So you can buy Daiso at this store for $1.50 a box.
Wow. I am jealous, Erin. I need a Daiso store near me. The only one in Canada, I believe, is in Vancouver. And you know what sucks? Right before the Daiso, like the clay trend started, we actually went on a trip to Vancouver. And oh my gosh, I didn't get any. And I saw it there. I wish I had picked it up because, like you said, it was like $1.50. And when you get it online, it's like $3 to $4. And it's so expensive in comparison. And I was just like kicking myself, like, oh my gosh, I wish I had gotten that Daiso clay.
Yeah. If you can't make it to a Daiso store, I mean, what are some of your other favorites, Alyssa? I mean, what would you just buy if you're going out to the store and you didn't live near a Daiso and you're not allowed to order things online? What would you use?
Yeah, I know that a lot of people don't like Model Magic. I know that it's like some people say it's too tough and all this stuff, but I actually find that when you add like a ton of lotion, you need to you need to be patient if you're using Model Magic. But if you add a bunch of lotion, it actually makes a really fun slime, and I personally really like it. I know there's a lot of people out there who strongly disagree with me and really hate Model Magic, but I really like Model Magic, and you can get that from Michael's and I believe Walmart sometimes. But make sure you like squish the pack before you buy it and make sure it's like still good, because sometimes they're just out on the shelf for so long that they dry out. So watch out for that. That's a pro tip there for you. And another great brand is Modelite. I've seen that people use that one. I haven't personally used it myself, and I don't know if it's available in Canada. I know that I got a package of it, I believe, from Sasha, some other slime. When we did our trade, she sent me some, and I still haven't opened it up and used it. But I've heard that it really liquefies the slime, so make sure you have your activator on hand. But it really makes a nice, soft, velvety slime. And I have more more clay recommendations. I have so many because I've tried out so many because it's really hard.
I'm loving this.
It's really hard for me to get Daiso clay. I could literally talk about this for so long. But another clay that I'm actually really, really loving is Endo soft clay. So that's a new clay that has really become popular in the slime community. If you want, I have a code. It's Crafty Slime Creator. I believe I have it always in my captions whenever I use their clay, and it's like an affiliate code, so I get a small commission from that, but you get 10% off off of the clay, which is really great. And I really love their clay, to be honest. It's a nice velvety, it's just different from Daiso, and that Daiso is really fluffy and airy, but Nendo is it's a velvetier, it's almost like a thicker texture to me, but I really like the difference between the two, because sometimes I find Daiso can get really sticky and it's kind of hard to play with sometimes, but Nendo for me has just been really velvety and smooth.
I have to try that clay. I'm going to go click your page after this so I can go check it out.
Thank you.
I've been admiring it from afar. It does look super velvety and nice. And I hope that answered your question, Taylor.
Mm-hmm. I totally went off on a bunch of tangents there, Taylor, but you have tons of options now.
No, those were useful tangents, though. I'm like, I need to take notes here when she's talking. Should we get back to something a little more basic from Bella? What inspired you to start your slime account?
Ooh, that is such a good question. Do you want to start off with that one, Erin?
Sure. So like a lot of mothers with small children who are super into slime, my daughters asked me to make slime with them one day, and I failed miserably. I think I used glue that didn't have PVA in it, because I remember I bought all this glitter glue from some off-brand, and I squirted all the colors in a bowl, and I used contact lens solution and baking soda, and it was just a giant mess. And so, like probably a lot of y'all's parents, I was like, this is a mess. I am never doing this again. So we kind of put that to the side, and totally on my own, separate from making slime with my kids, I follow a lot of art accounts on Instagram for relaxation. I love watching, people paint or do calligraphy or spirograph or things like that. And I noticed a slime video on one of these curated pages once, and I thought, what the heck is that? Is that stuff I tried to make in my kitchen that one time? And through there, I discovered a bunch of American slime accounts. My Happy Hobby Slimes was one of the first I ever found that was American. And from there, I used to work in television, and sometimes I still do. And so I enjoy making videos. And so that's kind of how it started. Combining something that helped me relax and fall asleep with making videos, and then learning how to make the slime kind of came after deciding to do all the rest of that stuff. So everybody was watching me kind of slowly learn how to make cool slimes in the process. What about you?
So I started making slime when I was really young, when I was really little with my mom, and it was more like flubber, and it wasn't really like the slime we play with today. But in the summer before, I think it was 10th grade, I started we were redoing my room, and I was really bored, and I figured, why not make some slime? Because I just saw it on YouTube. I think I liked watching crafting videos when I was bored and stuff like that. So I saw slime, and I decided to try it out. And of course, like all the other kids these days, I decided to post it on Instagram, and people really liked it. So I just kept posting, and I was learning as I went. Like the first clear slime I ever made, I didn't understand why it wasn't clear when I first made it. I was like,
Me
why is
too.
this slime like gray?
Yeah.
I was like, this is so weird. And I remember posting the slime, and I was like, guys, I think I failed this clear slime because it's like gray, and I don't understand this. But don't worry, now I figured it out.
Yep. That's the biggest thing you have to learn is that clear slime is not clear slime immediately. You got to give it some time.
Exactly. There's so many people that have so many shortcuts, but you know, you just got to be patient and let it sit.
Yep, exactly. Okay. Next question, one from Instagram or one from the chat? What do you think?
Let's do one from Instagram, maybe. Oh, we answered the what is your inspiration for your account from Squish Pop Slimes, but maybe we could also do like a what inspires you to make a slime. So in general, I am really inspired by the media, for example. So like when Stranger Things was really popular, or like pop culture and things like that, I'm super inspired by. I wanted to make a bunch of Stranger Things slimes. Or I'm inspired by like so many things I see every day. Like if I see a really good color combination, like in someone's outfit or on a magazine or in a book cover or something, and I'm like, oh, I love that color combo, I will make a slime with that color combination. What about you, Erin?
Yeah, I mean, most of my slimes are food inspired, and it's no secret. I love food. I love to eat. So number one inspiration is definitely food, but also like my surroundings, like anything I see, nothing is off limits anymore. I can't look at anything without seeing slime. I don't know about you, but like I'll look at something that's completely the opposite of slime, and I'll be like, oh, slime. Oh no, it's not slime. It's like somebody's wallpaper. But yeah, I draw it from almost anywhere, and usually I'm inspired by a scent first. Then I go hunting around for fragrances, and once I find the fragrance, then I decide what color and texture and what its name is going to be. So I mostly get inspired by smells.
Yes, I actually sometimes work the opposite way. Like I just bought a bunch of sample scents from a scent company, and I'm smelling them all, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to make a slime based on this scent. So I work backwards from you.
Yeah, awesome.
So I see some questions or some comments about the clay. So bringing it back to that, for the Endo clay from Aniston, and Aniston, she said that it rips, and even if it's sticky slime, so maybe try adding some lotion to that, or for me, it was a bit difficult to knead in as well, and I actually found that adding more slime to it actually helped it become less rippy and more velvety smooth. And also if you let it sit, because when you first make it, it could be rippy because of all the air you add into the clay, but once you let it sit for a bit and then you play with it again, it becomes stretchier. And yes, Sasha, I need to make some more. I need to use that model-like clay that has been sitting. I don't want it to dry out, but I've just been so busy. I will make a video with it, and I will tag you in it so you see it.
That's funny because Sasha was the first person that I got Modelite clay from too, and now I love it. I use it all the time. It's my favorite.
I know. I'm gonna need someone to hook me up with the Modelite clay because they don't sell it in Canada yet. Yeah, she said it's not available in Canada. That is so sad.
You need to find something that's only available in Canada to make all of us Americans jealous.
True. If there's any Canadian Slimers in the chat, comment a little Canada flag emoji, or anybody comment like the flag where you're from so we can see.
Oh yeah, let us know where you're all from, guys. That's always fun for me too. Maddie's Musings has a very deep, dark question. Do we believe that slime is dying? I mean, what do you think?
That is a tough question. Well, I personally never think that slime has ever been dying. I do think it has kind of like ebbed and like there's been like increases in slime and decreases where it's like been super popular and then it kind of goes down a bit and then it's super popular again. And I think that's related to when people find new types of slime. So for example, there was kind of like a it was kind of calm, and then butter slime happened and it was like crazy, and then it was kind of calm again, and then cloud slime happened, and then so I think people are just going to keep creating more and more slimes, and slime is never going to really die. It's not really a fad. It's more of something, it's a creative thing that people will keep doing for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that slime might be dying for some people because maybe they're getting older, they're losing interest, and they're moving on to other interests. But I mean, I think that with every Slimer that loses interest and moves on to something like, their high school volleyball team or, something else, a job or whatever it is, we gain more Slimers every day. I think anytime someone turns 13 and gets an Instagram account, there's always a potential person that's going to be exposed to the slime community. So I think what you said is correct in my mind too. It's like it's going in waves, and as with any hobby and any trend, really.
Exactly, yeah. There's always going to be also a new generation that's coming up and finding slime for the first time. So that is really great. And I think that, like, some people, sometimes if you make tons and tons of slime right at once, you kind of get burnt out. But if you just, like, play with slime in moderation, and you're kind of just like doing it for fun, and if you're focusing on the right thing, like if you get into slime just to get followers or something like that, obviously it's not going to be something that's lasting a long time for you, because that's not what it should be about, and it's not what really should bring you like happiness out of slime. It should be because you like making slime and you like making friends and in the community and stuff like that. So that's another side of it as well.
Yeah, honestly, on that topic, a question well, not even a question, it's just something I see that, like, as somebody with, mothering instincts, I'm a mom, I can't help but feel this way. But when I see young followers get really down about their account not exploding into 100,000 followers right away, or not growing as fast as they want it to, or people not buying slimes from their shop as quickly as they wish they would, I always say that. I say, remember why you came here. If you came here to make a ton of money and sell slimes, then that's one thing. But if you came here because you love slime and you like making friends that like the same things you do, that you may not have any Slimer friends in real life. I mean, I have met Slimers from Instagram in real life that are now my real life friends, but I didn't have any friends in real life that like slime. I really didn't. As a older lady, I didn't. So now I do. And so you always have to remember why you came here, and not allow watching something happen with someone else's account and wishing it was happening to you. You got to keep it very individual. And I know that's easier said than done. It can be really hard.
Yeah.
But I hate to see people leave for that reason.
Exactly. And I think it's just so important for us to, slime is just, it's just supposed to be fun. We shouldn't be stressed out about followers and views and sales and things like that. Slime, it should all come back to if you're enjoying it. And if you are getting stressed out by slime and it's not fun anymore, then you don't have to sell slime or things like that. Like, I am not selling slime anymore because I just don't have the time to do it, and it's just not feasible for me. And that's totally fine. That's perfectly all right to do. It's just, slime should just be about having fun.
Agree. I agree. We are getting close to the end of our show. I know we have a few more questions we wanted to get to from Instagram and YouTube. You want to cover a couple of those?
Sure, we could do a rapid fire couple questions, and then we will do the Slimer shout out and the giveaway. So that's fun.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah. So what's the question? How we talked about how to handle cyberbullying. That was from a Slimy Philosophy. We talked about how to think of creative slime ideas. That was from Slimy Jules. And those were the main questions we got. But another question we thought about talking about was how to grow on Instagram. We talked about that a little bit. Is there any other rapid fire tips you want to give, Erin?
I question I get asked a lot is how do you make your videos?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What do you use? What's your setup? How do you edit them? Again, this is something we plan to cover in greater detail later on. But honestly, if you have a cell phone or an iPad or a tablet, you can do it. A lot of people think I have some really elaborate setup. I don't. I use my iPhone. I use a desk lamp and my iPhone, guys. You heard it here first. Super technologically advanced there in the slime lab at the Sliminate stand. Literally 2 desk lamps and my iPhone, guys. That's all you need.
Yeah. Exactly. I have almost the same setup to that, and I have a video where I show that all. I'll link it up in the cards after this has gone live, and I'll have it down below if you want to check it out, and I show you what my setup is, and it's super simple, and you don't need to have any fancy camera or lighting or anything like that.
I have one last rapid fire question that I thought was fun. What is your favorite thing to add into slime, Alyssa?
Ooh, my favorite thing is definitely clay. I would definitely say probably Daiso clay, honestly.
Mine are pearls. I just love the way they feel. I just like the way they feel in my hand. I add some clay every once in a while, but pearls are my favorite.
And they're so pretty. They're so gorgeous.
I know. And they may not be the most inexpensive thing to add to your slime. Gotta work on that, but I love the way they feel. Let me just see if we have any more chat comments before we move on to our Slimer shout out. And maybe you could explain what the Slimer shout out is.
Perfect. So the Slimer shout out, we want to do this every time we do a Slimey Sunday. That is where we pick a Slimer that we really think in the slime community is doing something different or really creative or unique, or they're just a great member of the slime community that is doing something awesome that we want to give a shout out to. And so that's what the Slimer shout out is. And we also have our giveaway that I'll start it right now. So if anybody wants to put your Instagram handle in the comments or in the live chat, so just put your @ and it's open. Our giveaway is open to the US and Canada. So put your @ there and you'll be entered into the giveaway, and I'll use a random generator to pick someone, and I'll DM you on Instagram, and you'll get a copy of my book and a gift card to the Sliminade stand. So make sure you leave those @ in the comment section so we can send you a cool book and you'll get some slime from Erin's shop when you use her gift card.
Yay! Yay! Some slime.
Yeah, it's
you guys,
so fun.
Before we do that, thank you so much for joining our very first ever live stream. I'm so happy to see so many of you here, hanging out, chatting with us, talking. I hope you enjoyed yourselves today, because we're excited to keep doing this, and we'd love to have more people join us in the future.
Definitely. So in the coming up for the next Slimey Sunday, Erin is actually away. She's going on vacation, which is so much fun. And so I will be talking about, we haven't decided on the topic yet, but I will be announcing that on my Instagram. And so next Sunday, it'll be back on my YouTube channel. So you guys can come back on Sunday and say hi, and we can chat, and that'll be tons of fun. But Erin won't be there that week, but she'll be back for the one after that, which will be on her channel.
Yep, get ready. January 6th, I will be in Japan next weekend, guys, and I'm really hoping to pick up some cool stuff for slimes while I'm there. I'm excited.
That's so exciting.
All right, Slimer shout out. So Allie and I talked about this, and it was very easy to agree on this one. It's someone who's actually fairly new to our community as of this fall, I believe, that she started her account, and she has grown exponentially. I know her personally, and she's a really, really nice person. I admire what she does, and that is Mona Lisa Slimes, Nikki over at Mona Lisa Slimes, and that is Mona Lisa Slimes with 2 eyes, y'all, and an S at the end. You should definitely go check out her account. She does a series called Mona Lisa's Lunchbox on the weekends, where she recreates food with slime, and this stuff looks so realistic. It's unbelievable.
It is so cool. I love her account so much. She inspires me to be more creative with my slimes. I'm like, what am I doing? When I see her videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love them. You should all check out her account. I love them so, so much.
I'm going to put her handle in the comments right now.
Yes. So make sure you leave all your ats. I see a lot of you commenting them. Thank you so much. And I'll be picking using a random number generator to find a winner for the giveaway. Oh my gosh. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this Slimy Sunday and want to see more of them. We really had so much fun planning this, and we've been talking about it for a while now, and it's just been so much fun.
It was fun. Yeah. So thanks again, guys. This was a blast. We will see you soon, and make sure you keep giving us feedback here about what you'd like to see, who you'd like to see join us, because it doesn't have to be just us. We'd love to have some Slimers join us to mix it up a little bit. So please keep the feedback coming so we know what you want, because ultimately that's important to us. So awesome. I hope everyone has a good day.
Yes, great. So I think that is everything we had to talk about today. So we will talk to you guys next Sunday. Bye.
Bye, guys.